Hey guys, so I finally hit Mythic in RTA, and in this video I want to show you guys everything I've used so far in my CC playstyle so that if you want to replicate, you can do that yourself as well. It has been a very challenging journey because right now Mythic is like top 100 and everybody is really good. Sometimes I get shit on like 4 or 5 times in a row, but I finally hit a good streak where I beat many people in a row, including the guy that is really high up, so you get more points by doing so. It allowed me to climb back into Mythic. Overall, I would say the meta is actually very diverse. We have Cleave, CC, Bruiser all over the place, and you can't really predict what the players you are fighting is going to play. Also, if you want more RTA content, then leave a like down below, that'd be great. And this video is not sponsored by Etheria Restart. I'm just sharing you guys my journey. First, gonna be the most important unit in my draft, and that is going to be Nahor. He is heavily invested, and I'm using the Swift Bulwark Swift Smite on him because he usually go first and control the enemy cleanser pretty much immediately. The share I'm going for is going to be Codex with Insight so that I can land my freeze in the first turn right off the bat. For skill up, I went a bit excessive with this guy. The skill 2 is not needed at all, but I just wanted more accuracy. The skill 3, if you believe you can end the fight quickly, then you don't even need the last one. And the skill 1 is mainly for the speed. So I think the minimum investment for Nahor is going to be like 414, and you should be good to go. Freeze right now is probably one of the strongest CC in the game because they cannot gain turn meter, and there are so many units in the game that can allow Bruiser team to gain turn meter in between and destroy you. The second most important unit in my draft is going to be Plume. She stripped into defense break. She survived really well. I'm using Bloodbath, Swift Rush, and Swift Smite. A lot of my units are now in Bloodbath. Unfortunately, I have to do it because one counter attack from any meta bruiser like Tiamat, Ray Mary, and everything in between can demolish your CC unit if they are not on Bloodbath. So if the game wants you to play in a certain way, you kind of have to do it. For Shell, I'm going in with Jackal Guard with speed and HP. You can go with either Insight or Gaze or damage reduction for the third slot. For skill up, I'm having 5, 4, 5 right now. I don't think you need the last one at all for the skill 2. And if possible, I would love to get a second dupe to get a bit more accuracy, because even though her consistency is really good, sometimes you still miss on like Linglo or Fuchu because they are built with double resistance. So far, this is probably the most important unit in my draft. She allowed me to do more damage, slow them down, and strip their immunity. I've seen a lot of Plume on Revelation and Codex of Magic as well, and they work just fine. But so far, I have the most success with this one because when I pick her first in my draft, I can potentially pivot into anti-cleave calm, and she is on 1 slot HP so that she doesn't just die immediately to like a Yeli or Messiah. But P5 Messiah will still shit on her anyway. P5 Messiah is pretty much the most broken thing in the game because it kills everything, unless you are built exactly to counter that. The third unit is very important in the team is going to be Mio. So I pick her very often as well. She's also on Bloodbath, but she has to be on triple accuracy because landing her debuff is the most important thing. She has 0 dupe on, so I'm kind of sad that she died very easily if she get focused on, even on Bloodbath. If I get like the first 3, that's going to be so amazing. But getting dupe for Mio is pretty much impossible at this point because I'm not summoning on standard banner anytime soon. So there is a 0 chance I'm going to get these dupe because for the dupe currency, you can buy one in like many months and you have to use it on like damage dealer. So she's on like a decent speed, a bit slower than my Plume because she is my secondary control. So when I started with Nahor, if there are bulwark on the enemy unit, then Plume is going to strip that, and then Mio is going to be in charge of controlling anything that was on bulwark. So she's a bit slower than Plume at the moment. I don't use her to speed contest because my speed gear is absolutely shit. Next up, we have Hrik. Very important unit in the game as well because Amber abuse is still very prevalent. So you definitely need the heal block from this character. So right now, I'm using him on a Revelation build because I kind of need damage in my team as well. You can also use Jackal or Codex of Magic, work just fine, or even the Dark Moon Shell. But so far, this one deal damage. It can land debuff because one of the slot on my module is actually effect accuracy. So this allows him to pop the skill 3, land a decent amount of debuff, and do a very good amount of damage as well. So it's going to be double crit rate and effect accuracy. And if with a bit of crit rate in the other module, you're going to get to max crit very easily. But if you have a shell that has momentum in there, you can also get to max crit rate without any crit rate substat. For the passive, I'm going with speed, attack, and insight to help him land his early debuff even easier. Those were my 4 core units. Now let's move on to the counterplay. So what if Nahor is pre-banned, which happens very often because you fight the same guy like 4 or 5 times in a row in high rank. So if Nahor get pre-banned, my secondary Nahor is going to be the new SSR Ditting. The skill 3 is kind of like Nahor in a way that if I use it, they cannot gain turn meter with their shell. So I have this guy actually pretty fast to go before my Plume and my Mio as well, because I want him to pop the skill 3 onto the enemy Aya or Sylph so that they cannot gain turn between, and then Mio start going skill 3 to control their turn meter. So for module, I'm going with Codex of Magic so that I can pop the skill 3 twice in case of any cleansing in between. We have defense, insight, and speed. For skill up, I have skill 1 for the speed and also the anti-turn meter, because sometimes people attack Mio, then he is very effective against that. And the skill 3 is almost max. I don't need the cooldown reduction because I'm using Codex and my fight and pretty fast, but I did it for the accuracy. And skill 2, I would love to do it for more stat and also the 2-turn taunt, but I don't think I can afford to do that anytime soon. But this guy is very good, and I use him all the time to counter turn meter gain unit like the enemy Plume, Fuchu, and pretty much Strive plus Ripper Step. Very, very strong unit to build for your control team. There are also matches where Mio is taken and Hrik get pre-banned. Happens all the time as well. So I need another counter to Amber. I build 2. The first one that I use a whole lot is going to be Santic. So this guy is still on the Time Weave and Swift Rush build, and I run triple accuracy. Oh wait, I have 1 HP bonus here at the moment, but should be more than enough to reset the enemy Raymary, which is very important because they're usually on Amber. So when he's on the field, he can use his skill 2, which increase the enemy shell cooldown, and you can actually stack this. I really want to max out the skill to reduce its cooldown, because with this kind of setup right here, Time Weave and Halloween, you can skill 3 into skill 2 and skill 3 into skill 2 all the freaking time. You can actually stack up the increased cooldown time much more than 1 turn. You can keep it at like 2 or 3 turn even, and you can also increase its cooldown time. And when they get revived, they don't have the skill. So it is soft counter Bayantin revive for things like Messiah or other damage dealer as well. And this is a very strong counter to Lilium, which is a very good counter to CC team, because you cannot control or taunt Lilium, but you can increase Lilium cooldown time. So I'm using Gaze because he gained turn ult a lot, which means he gained the accuracy here very, very quickly. And you kind of want him to just be there, pop the skill 3, skill 2 combo as often as possible. And I've been loving this guy. Another counter to Amber that I use from time to time is going to be my Lilium on a full damage build. So this one is a hit or miss because she's a bit slow, but if I try to build her like fast, she will just not kill, and that's not very cool. And I have to keep her with this sort of damage output with crit damage, crit rate, and crit damage on a swift rate build so that she can follow up after my CC unit if I don't get to pick Lily to pull her together with the team. So she's gonna be doing a lot of damage with maxed out stat pretty much, right? We have 28% here, 30% here, and then another 11% in the shell. So for me, she's going to be a one-shot damage dealer. She can kill all of the cleanser most of the time very easily. So unit like Aya or Sylph, they're usually the anti-CC unit, and they're built with some sort of effect rest in between, which means their HP is not that high, and I can potentially one-shot them with a simple defense break setup. And that is what she is there for most of the time. And sometimes I pick her when they go CC against me, then I know that Lilium is pretty good as well. But because I don't build with Bloodbath or with the Lot of Silence, then she die very easily. So I don't really pick her to counter CC. I try to pick other unit in there. And the last in my core team is going to be Freya, which I pick very early nowadays, because if they ban Protect Freya, I have no way to outspeed them. They outspeed me. There's so many single target strip now, and also Tiamat can potentially just like tap and then my Nahor is dead because I'm not bloodbath like an idiot. So I pick Freya rather early and very often nowadays, and my Freya is actually on effect accuracy so that I can use my auto unit to decrease their turn meter a whole lot when my team land debuff. And my Freya's on inside as well, because if I want a skill 3, usually you have to choose between skill 2 and skill 3 in the first turn, depending on whether they are very fast. If they are kind of slow, you can see the turn meter, then I run Freya and I skill 3, I push them back, attack buff my team, and that can further support my Hrik on Revelation, and auto unit can do bigger damage as well, and Freya herself can do very decent damage with my Jackal Guard. And I've been really enjoying using this unit because if I pick her early, they can't do anything to me in terms of like outspeeding if they are a slow player, and then I can cycle around them with a lot of turn meter pushback. And Freya combined with Santic is insane because Santic buff 2 buff all the time, and that gives me a lot of turn meter, and Santic put out 2 debuff all the time, and that push back their turn meter. So overall, Freya Santic is a very, very deadly combo that give me a lot of turn manipulation for myself and against the enemy at the same time. So that is pretty much my core team that I use the most often, and I really enjoy using them because it's just fun. It's just fun, pretty much. Now we have some sort of niche play that I last pick from time to time. First gonna be Lilith, because Lilith can also decrease enemy turn meter, and she is also a damage dealer. Her skill 2 can push back turn meter when she land her stuff, and I'm using her on Gaze so that when she do that combo skill 3, skill 2, she can max out her accuracy much quicker. And I just happen to have this exact shell that I don't really use on anybody, so I put on Lilith and sometimes I use her. I would love to max out all her skill, especially the speed here. Maybe I don't need the skill 1 to be maxed out, but I do want to get the last one on skill 2 and get the extra speed on her because she is an insane control unit when you maxed out her skill. Another crazy CC unit, but she doesn't do anything to Amber Shell, unfortunately, right? So if they are picking like triple Amber, then Lilith doesn't really help counter that, and when they come up Amber, they just destroy Lilith pretty much immediately. So I pick her to usually deal with people who run non-Amber. They run Jackal Guard, they run Lilium. Lilith can potentially just shit on Lilium in 1-2 turn. Very, very cool. I gear up Tiamat just because I have her. I don't really draft this unit. Yeah, I don't. I have Lily that I use from time to time as well, but not a whole lot. That's why her gear is not really that good. But I use her when I want to pull my Lilium. So I would like second pick this character, pull my Lilium, and then allow my Lilium to like do skill 3 back to back, and that allow me to do a lot of damage. Or if I know the enemy has a massively fast Lily, then I pick her early to steal it away from the enemy. You kind of have to build a Hoyan nowadays because cleavers are everywhere, which means there is always a chance to last pick Hoyan, even if your Hoyan is like me, which is a 1-1-1, pretty much no skill up whatsoever, but she still does her job from time to time, and her build is also very simple. You want to run like a count on Bulwark, which you will come across when you farm for Codex of Magic anyway, so everyone kind of have this shell right here, and you can just build her on like crit rate, crit damage, and she will do a very good job scaring people away, which is great. They have to ban her because they think I have a super crazy Hoyan, but turns out it's a pretty shit Hoyan, but the scare factor is right there. I also have Hoden that I draft from time to time, but not really. I just pick him for fun when I feel like it, but it's more like a fun little draft right there. I also have Raymary that I almost never play because people first pick Raymary anyway, and I first pick Plume. So 99% she is not in the drafting range at all, but sometimes, somehow, people don't pick her and they're trying to cleave, then I can pick her. Maybe they're a new player, whatever, then they forgot to summon her banner, then you can draft her. Maybe in like 3 months where the game have different batch of player and they did not summon on her banner, then you maybe see less Raymary cleaver, but you see her all the time. I also have an Aya on a Ripper step, but not on Bloodbath. I just pick her when I see like Revelation Freya, so I can sort of cut in between with my Aya and then pull my other character. It works sometimes, but not all the time. I also have a classic Alicorn Sylph that I don't really use at all, but I have it. I have a low one build, or sometimes build. I use her sometimes, but she is very much like Raymary in a way that she get drafted by the enemy all the time. So it is also impossible to pick this character because she's never available. But sometimes she does. Then I can use her to single target control one of the enemy unit for like 2 turns, which is absolutely incredible. But you don't get to play her very often, for me personally. And that has been my journey. Let's play one game to see if we win or lose. We got good old classic Aya, maybe low. He stole my guy. Wait, that's actually pretty bad. All right, which means we can Freya in the middle, and we can also go Ditting. Ditting can like soft counter the enemy Mio pick if he happened to go Mio, and I can go with other character. But if he doesn't go with Mio, then it's gonna be Mio Ditting to control the enemy. That is an early Nahor steal though. That's crazy. Oh, that looks like a lot of Bulwark coming my way because that shell has Bulwark. The Nahor could potentially be on Bulwark because a lot of people build like a 114 Nahor. So their speed is not very good. So they usually go Bulwark. But most Nahors on Bulwark. Everybody over there is a Bulwark gamer. Oh, that's kind of scary. Okay. So we're going to run another strip here. And we're going to go in with last pick Mio. So we have 2 strip. But Ditting actually goes in front of my strip to counter Aya. Do I let Aya stay? But letting Aya stay into this is kind of sus. Oh, that is also very scary. But she's not on Alicorn. So she can be controlled. Which means I can potentially just ban out the Aya. Or... no, we're going to ban out the Aya, okay? Oh no, that is a lot of Bulwark. So we have a lot of problem here. But Freya boost is actually RNG. There's a chance that she buffed more than 1 buff. Or she buffed someone else a bit more. And that will boost my stripper in front. My stripper did not go in front, unfortunately. But I'm going to go for the AoE slow here. We miss. Oh, that sucks now. She might cut in between, which is not fun. But I'm going to go for the Nahor kill here with a strip. Man, this thing has double hit just like Nahor. And actually better chance to land the torpo. But I miss rather frequently. Oh no. If I don't land my freeze on the right unit, we might be in trouble. Let's see. We miss the Nahor. Is it over? I think it's kind of over actually. Yeah, I think we lost. Because I land on the wrong unit. Oh, this thing is not dead yet. And we're getting turned between. So what we want to do is, I want to slow them down. That'd be great. We're going to slow them down, push back with Freya CC. And hopefully gain enough turn in between. We're going to push them back even further. She can't gain turn because of the knitting. And we're going to push them back even further with the Freya skill 3 on accuracy. Very good. Look at the pushback on the turn meter. And my Mio should be moving very, very soon here. I'm going to push the healer back. Okay, with the skill 3. Boom. Very good. The healer's further back. And what do I want to do here? Nahor is not moving anytime soon. But just in case, you know, we're going to push him back because he has the CC. We're going to finish off the low one. Easy. And then we're going to try to finish off all the damage dealer, which is going to be the Holden. Very good. We get a Nahor in between. Look at the Ditting just countering Reaper step right there. Bam with the freeze. And we got him. Beautifully done. Without Nahor as well. That's pretty crazy. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.